Welcome back to Bros Talk Supercars. It is AJ and Curtis here, and we have got an exciting video for you guys today. I cannot wait to jump into it.
It's a bit long overdue. We have gone from January straight into February. We were quite ill. Minus that, nobody wants to know really, do they? They just want to know what we're doing today, what we're filming with, and why are we here, and what's in the garage, to be honest.
And I'm super excited because I have a lower version of this car that we're going to be test driving today.
Yeah, you have the slower, fatter, slightly better fuel economy. Not much, to be honest.
Don't talk about Danielle like that.
You call your car Danielle?
Well,
that's another time for another.
No, the number plate sort of spells out Danielle, so I have named it Danielle for now.
That's so sad.
Beautiful Danielle. But we won't talk about that now. We have got the more powerful car today. Bigger engine, more horsepower, more newton meters of torque. It is the GLC 43 AMG.
It's just better.
Well, we'll find out today if it's better.
No.
My car, I'll tell you right now, because I've drove my car for a long time now, it's smooth, it's comfortable, and it does everything itself, but it doesn't look like this.
So here we are with the GLC 43 AMG. This car is, well, it is one of my fan favourites. It is his dad's car. It is the faster, more leaner machine. And Curtis, as we can see up there, David versus Goliath, is the heavier, slower machine, but better fuel economy.
Cheers for that, AJ. Yeah, my car, we will say, is the slightly heavier and slower machine, but I do love this car. Listen to the stats on it. So it's a 3-litre V6 bi-turbo engine, pushing out 385 brake horsepower, 520 newton meters of torque. It's powerful. 0 to 60 is around 4.678 seconds, I'm gonna say.
It does feel quick in this. I feel like Mercedes always lie to us. It is actually quicker than
this is the thing. We are waiting for our speed equipment to come so then we can really test all of these things out, but they always do undersell it, and I do know from watching the videos on this, it is always undersold. It's a quick car. That 4MATIC gets it off the line like that.
Just before we get on the road, I do want to talk about cost. People never talk about money. We need to talk about money.
Yes.
This car was bought for about £55,000 back in 2020, and now in 2022, well, 2023, it is actually still pretty much the exact same price due to a war and a shortage in some semiconductors. It's held its value really well. Not that Dad's gonna sell it, because then he'll have no car. But if you wanted a 2022 model, it's 60 grand now, so an extra 5 grand. And if you were going to go all out on the 63 AMG version, with all the bells and whistles like 2022 model, you are on the way to 90 grand, 85,000 pounds, which is a bit crazy when you consider what you can get on that price point. But I think we've said enough now. Do love these alloys, these 22-inch alloys, diamond cut. Never curb these. And Curtis, you've drove this before, yeah?
I haven't drove this before. No, this is the thing. So I've only drove the slower version of this, so I'm very excited to drive this actually, because I bought Dad's old car off him. Will I be buying this car off Dad next time?
Who knows? Let's get on road. Let's make it happen. Okie dokie, let's go. We're in the car now. Got the heated seats on. Yep. I turned down one too. Always do a 2 heated seater on this.
No, 3 heated seats all the way.
No, a bit too hot I could get. By the way, we have got Dad in the background.
So I don't quite know why we've got Dad in the background.
Dad is here. Yes, we are insured on the car anyway, but Dad is here is purely just to be here. Okay, so we are here in the C6. Oh, why do I want to say C63? I just want to review a C63 is obviously what is happening at the church. Oh. Sad times funeral, we'll go a bit quieter. We don't want to rev it.
Not that exciting, AJ.
It's not that audience. Yeah, so we are here in the GLC 43 AMG, and Mercedes does get a lot of stick for this, and we do have to admit, I'm slightly on the stick side of things. Like, AMG used to be clearly, it was an AMG, it was a 6.3 litre, then they kept the 6.3, we know it wasn't a 6.3 litre engine, but now when you come into kind of being like, it used to be the sedans, especially in America, Curtis, you've got the C450s, and it was clearly like, yeah, you've got a bigger engine, you kind of know what you're getting. And then back, what was it, in 2015 when they changed it to the C43 AMG, and you were kind of like, well, literally all you've done is change 2 things. You just kind of added on the AMG to make it its own new breed, which I kind of get.
So in other words, is it a publicity stunt and a money-making scheme or not?
I do feel like it is the best publicity stunt you could have ever done. Like, say if you've gone into a market and you say, well, I kind of want the AMG, I can't afford it, it's a bit too expensive, but you know what, I can afford the one beneath it with all the bells and whistles that kind of looks like it and quite sparkly. So I feel like it's an amazing money-making scheme, especially when you consider in the UK now, like, the year 2022, I think that it was the largest market for cars, was that kind of crossover SUV. I think it was 52, 54% of the market was crossovers and SUVs. Like,
and young
this is making
drivers,
it happen.
Young drivers are wanting SUVs these days. That's what they want to buy.
Like you, Curtis, you like your SUV, don't you?
Well, you're up above the road, they're big, they're steady, they're secure, easy to drive, comfortable, they're nice cars.
One thing that does have to be said is, though, it's definitely a money grab, as we said, a marketing scheme to get more money off. I think it's kind of definitely the target audience of, like, you've had kids, you're paying for everything for them, and then suddenly they've gone, you've got a bit of extra money, you can afford that bit extra car. You know, the salesperson, they get you, don't they? They're like, you know what, you need a bit more power, you need a bit more lust in your life. And that's what we're going to do. Here's the baby AMG, perfect for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's baby though. Everything has been tightened up still. The throttle response is tightened up, the brakes are slightly tightened up, the suspension is stiffer, even on all of the comfort to hard settings. It does make a difference.
Yeah.
Exhausts that are added on that you can open the valve to. It has got that AMG feel to it. It does have the extra than just the 450 did.
Okay, let's put it into Sports Plus. Let's give it a bit more. Well, I always go the other way on your one. Dad's got it set up back to front, I feel like. Okay, Sports Plus. Oh, it does make it's a good noise, isn't it?
Yeah, it does pick up.
See, it even got the little back pops. Oh, I'm going back to what I said, baby AMG, I don't know. It sounds so good.
Oh, it does.
And it, you know what, it's funny, it feels so flat, considering, like, I've been in your car, the GLC 300, like, we're gonna hit a bump now. It goes straight through it. There is no change. Like, it's bloody brilliant. It is bloody brilliant.
It is nice, to be fair, and it feels a lot more solid than my car did.
Okay, so I'm pulling up now. I know you're going to get in the driver's seat, Curtis, because you've never driven this car before, but it's a good car.
I'm excited.
Go on, swap over.
Go on, get out, AJ, get out.
I'll get out.
Oh, let's give it a go. AJ, how...
Oh my God, you're going to break the seat at that rate. Oh, crikey, thank God we're in park, or else we just shot right off then.
Blimmin' heck, AJ. Do you like the taste of your own knees or something? I mean, blimmin' hell.
It's been a comfy position for me.
Oh, I can just feel it feels more aggressive and mean than mine, just sitting in it straight away. It just feels more solid. The steering wheel, the whole heads-up display, it's a newer, it's more modern version of mine. I do love it. You know, I always said to myself, I always thought, will I ever buy this off Dad? Would I ever buy it off him?
You always,
and I always thought, no, I wouldn't. I'd buy the C6 or the GLC 63S. Let's find out. I'm excited. Should we go for it?
Yeah. It does sound good, doesn't it? Consistently sounds good.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, did you hear it? It does want to just crackle and pop. It holds them revs high. It's a different drive than my car. I can tell you straight away right now, everything feels more responsive, from the steering to the throttle response, the brake response. It's just a more solid car, and I love it. If the steering wheel, it's so much more active. As soon as you put it in a direction, slight turn into the right and it goes. It follows where you want to go. I actually love it. So this more modern one has 385 brake horsepower, as you can feel when you put your foot down, compared to the original one, which had 362 brake horsepower. So it has that extra bit of oomph to it, and it has a torque converter split of 31% at the front and 69% at the back. So it still gives you that sports car feel that it pushes you forward, but it does lock up to the road and it connects with all four wheels, and you can feel it just pull you around the corner.
Yeah, it does have that from the rear. Like, you feel like my car is rear-wheel drive, yours is forward drive. Like, it's very different. This kind of gives a good mix of both. And plus, when we drove that Rolls Royce, there was kind of like proper 900 newton meters of torque, four-wheel drive. Like, that didn't have a feel like a push from rear. It was just like, go.
No, yeah. But this, it grips lovely. I can feel, which as we start driving again, I really want to test it as we go into a couple of corners, the difference between mine, because even on comfort, the suspension on this I feel has more of a solid ride than mine. So it's just been pushed to that next level. And that's the AMG value that you get from these. Everything's just heightened and tightened in these cars. No matter what it is, even on the comfort settings, it's more aggressive.
The argument that we were kind of having before was, is this a real AMG or is the 63 the proper AMG? But when you're talking about these power numbers, 385 horsepower, and this feels solid, stuck to the road, like, what more can the 63 do? Other than like a noise.
Truthfully, I think yet again, it is the exact same things what we've just said. Everything tightened and heightened. So one of the big things about this car, which allows it to have all of these different availability driving styles, is the multi-chamber air suspension. So it gives you three different settings. You've got your sport setting, which is rock solid. You've got your comfort setting, which is just slightly a little bit more comfort. And then on different variants, you can actually get it raising your suspension for if you're going to drive off-road. But it really is noticeable. Now, some people on the English roads actually like to, which I do this quite a lot of the time, not drive sport in sport suspension because of the potholes, because of all of this. Putting it in that comfort mode just allows you to actually roll.
So what you have the suspension in sport and not driving in sport?
Sometimes, no, I will have the car in sport but not the suspension in sport, just to be able...
That's like jelly on a plate, surely. You just bounce all over the place.
Just to be able to deal with the potholes which are on these English roads which we are going over right now. And that's the thing, because it just makes it a little bit more easy for it to drive over. But it's a solider car. I love it. Everything about it in terms of that, AJ, it is more aggressive. It isn't as aggressive as I want it to be, though. I'm not feeling like I'm scared to drive it. I'm not feeling like...
The whole point of this car, surely, it's like your footballers' wives, kind of a bit more upgrade on the normal one. Like, you don't want them to go through a hedge. You want them to enjoy the ride.
You're saying it's a daily driver, good-looking sports car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, on that note, it brings me back to, we do have to talk about the comparison, BMW and Audi. They've kind of beaten the Mercedes on little wins like headroom. Nobody really cares that much. A boot space, maybe people care a bit more. Fuel economy, we'll talk about that in a second, especially the way you're driving. But power, Mercedes actually wins with 385 horsepower. From not much BMW. Oh, it knows. No Mercedes.
Yeah, Mercedes, no. Cancel.
Can you say that again?
No. Cancel.
What can I do for you?
Mercedes, cancel.
Hey, Mercedes, cancel.
Messages are not active.
Oh, go away, Mercedes. Oh, it worked.
That worked.
Okay.
It's got to be a bit stronger
the BMW has 385 horsepower, and then that kind of Audi down there at 349. And one thing also, it's lighter. Oh, that was a nice Bentayga that went past then. Oh.
Yeah, but we're not reviewing that. That's another video next time.
And it is lighter, so it's down 115 pounds on the Audi and 144 on the BMW. So that's, to be honest, when you get moving around the corners, probably not going to feel that much difference, but it
makes a difference. Extra power and it's lighter. That means it's going to brake better and it's going to accelerate faster. Talking about the acceleration, actually, so this car does it in 4.7 seconds. This is the GLC 43. I'm going to throw you through some of the other AMG variants.
It says online, but
yeah, I'm going to throw you through some of the other variants. So we've got the C63, the GLC 63, which does it in 3.8 seconds. Then we've got the GLC 63S, which actually does it in 3.6 seconds. So that's the fastest
If you've
variant.
gone for the 63, I'd be like, why haven't you got the S? Like, what's the point? If you're going to go all the way, you go all the way.
Because there's another 10 grand on top of the 20 grand already. That's why. And that is all you get. 0.2 seconds faster. And that is literally all it is on the S, and a little bit of this and that extra. So really, would you go for the S or would you not go for the S?
I'd go for the S.
Would you not just go for the standard and then just put a little remap onto it? Which would then most probably make it faster than the S anyway.
Well, I'd remap the S then.
Well, just thought for food for thought. Throwing it out there.
On that note, don't you have to go pick somebody up from the train station?
Yes, I do.
I think they're on strike.
So did you know, AJ, believe it or not, 500,000 people were on strike in London yesterday.
I know, I was thinking, thank God we're up north. Even though I can't post anything on strike. Hopefully we don't crash, touch wood. NHS on strike. Grandad needed a nurse yesterday. Don't worry, on strike.
Yeah.
We went for a meeting yesterday. Thank God this wasn't the case at his school, but the other person at the meeting, kids, teachers, on strike. Don't worry, politicians,
Actually,
they're not on strike actually.
You know what, AJ? I think I'm just gonna park up here and give up because sod it. We're on strike.
Yeah, we can't though. You get paid per minute. We've got to go.
Oh, do it.
You gotta go.
Oh God,
Yeah.
on that note. Miles per gallon. Thank you, Father, in the back, for letting us use your fuel. It was a full tank.
Slow down, there's a funeral, we just come past.
I know, but I can't just slam my brakes on there.
But when you slow down, then it
Oh
crackles
no,
apart.
I just dropped a gear with the exhaust open. What not to do outside a funeral.
So we've parked up now because we do have to talk about, it is a family SUV, it does have to do everything, it does have to have them party tricks. I know, like, there's certain things that do get annoying, like, oh, cool, do it, it's not gonna work, is it? Okay, it did work, that's a party trick that works. Another one that's probably not gonna work is, can you put the boot down? Because this does help when you've got some heavy loads.
As you can see, this will lower. Now this will lower by, I believe, 1.5 inches up to 2 inches nearly.
It's really annoying because it's actually working.
And it really works well because if you've got that heavy luggage or heavy anything, you can just slot it in. I actually use this feature all the time in my car. I use it all the time in my car. So the boot capacity, let me tell you, what is it, AJ?
The GLC here, we have, I hate to cry upon this, it doesn't really make that much of a difference when we talk about amounts, but the Mercedes only has 26 litres. But then when you put the back seats down, it goes towards 53, so there is a good amount of space there.
I think you could be lying on them figures, AJ.
Am I?
I think you may be. How many? Did you say 26? Because the Audi
26
has slightly more, but that only has 25.1. Where when you put the seats down, it actually has 53.1, the Audi. So here he is, he's back in with his stats, guys.
Okay,
I've caught him out.
Okay, I may have been lying. So Mercedes GLC offers 19.4 cubic feet of cargo room.
He's
and you
on
put
7.
the seats down, and then, I know, yeah. And then you get 56.5.
So yeah, and then also the BMW is actually the biggest version of all of these cars out of this level, and that has a
28.7.
See, we did learn these stats, I promise. And
then 62.7 when you put the seats down. I'm not a BMW fan, but if they would give us a car to review, I'd take it and say good things about it.
Now, we have just spoke about that, but in reality, I have managed to fit mountain bikes in this car. I've managed to fit surfboards, snowboards, you name it, I throw it in there. You can just
That's because you throw it in there. You literally just go.
No, but the thing is, you can reconfigure this car in such a way it's a 40-20-40 split between the front and the rear, and you can just jam anything in there, whatever you want. It is deceivingly big, I will say that. I have to back it up. Even though it's the smallest ones, I'm not a Mercedes fanboy here, I'm a Mercedes fanboy. Come on, Mercedes, you may have the smallest boot, but you've got the biggest heart.
Okay, we do have to talk about one thing.
Yes.
How clean is this car, Kurt?
So this car is spanking brand new. As you can see right here, it's still got, which I'm not even going to dare do it because Dad's in the background, it's still got all of its plastic covers on it. Spotless, never had anything put in it because Dad doesn't want to dirty it.
Look, it's never had anything in it, ever. Literally, ever.
You know what, AJ? This brings me actually to one thing from this boot that I do not like about this car. Now, I'm going to put the rear seats down, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you do this. So you've got a full capacity car, you're thinking to yourself, I need some more luggage. I'm going to come here, I'm going to drop them down. So what we do is, we have the quick release factor here, which is lovely. Boom. One down. You've got your quick release factor here. Two down. But the problem is, what you don't realise, when you drop these seats down automatically, real easy, yes, it's great, but then what you want to do is, you want to go sit into the front of the car, and what's happened is, all of the seats moved up, moved forwards, and it's crumpled you into the front, making it now very difficult to get into the car.
I can feel your pain because you've done this in the past, haven't you?
I've done this many a times and it takes you by surprise. And if you've just packed the car full, you then can't drop your seat back. And you're stuck in that driving position the whole way home. And that brings me to one thing I do not like about this car.
You've got loads of room, you can put it back.
You do, but what I'm saying is if you've packed it full already without realising, you're screwed. That's all you've got. Can I say one other thing actually, AJ, whilst we're talking about this? Bring it to the back of the car. Now this is a shame, this is really, because you have the quad exhausts, beautiful design out back, but let's just bring it in a little bit closer here. As you can see now, this is not an old car. This car hasn't been drove loads. It's done 22,000 miles. All the exhaust start to chip on the inside. And one other thing which is even worse, it's a fake exhaust. This actually only has two exhausts. The quad exhaust pipes are all for show. It breaks my heart, it really, really does.
Okay, so, put you away. We're gonna talk about legroom, even though I'm always flying first class and business class wherever I go because my legs are, well, very short.
Yep, he always gets offered a booster seat as well at the cinema.
Anyway, in the front of this car, we're going to talk about its comparisons against obviously the Audi SQ5 and the BMW X3 M40i. And the legroom, actually, there's less than 1 inch difference, so they're the same, nobody cares.
But on the headroom, the Audi has 2.1 inches more than the Mercedes respectable 39.6 inches, but the BMW also has 0.9 inches more than that, which then yet again is leaving the Mercedes to be the worst in the headroom and the capacity. But no one fear, because you can just lower the seat and therefore you're in a better racing position anyway. You're sat lower, you can see better.
Can't lower the back seats. We can lower the front seats.
Well, we'll get smaller people to sit in the back seats, it'll all be fine, we can create a good advert for it, no one will know.
It's all fake anyway, working TV.
Yeah, but I do have to say, you know, for the first time ever, small is beautiful.
Diamonds are small. No, let's do a quick walk around. Let's do it straight away. Let's go off the cuff.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit some of the things that we really love about the car, because there are quite a few, and one or two things that we hate, including you with them exhausts. So what is it going to be first, Curtis? Where are we going first? Let's go to the bonnet. We're going to talk about, let's get that hood up, Curtis.
Right, let's hit it up then, AJ.
Because I know that controversial with a lot of people, like we spoke about earlier in the video, Mercedes, AMG, is it really a true AMG when it's got, fundamentally it's not a 63, is it? Curtis, do you even know where the bonnet is? You drive on these cars, wrong side. No, this is quite entertaining. This is good. Where is it, Kurt?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
One sec.
Oh, he's really lost it here. We'll give him 10 minutes. Let's further in. Yep, you're gonna find, oh, there it is. We found it in the end.
We got it.
Didn't he? Oh, because it was so entertaining watching that, come on, let's see if we can get the HUD up.
I'm telling you, it's in a different position in my car, I promise you.
It is not. He's stressing. I can feel it. It's on the left.
I can feel it.
What's the face? Look, give us the face.
There it is. Come on, baby. There we go. Oh, look at her purr. Purr.
So we have to say it then, like, obviously there is no AMG true badge in there. So that, in my opinion, makes it a fake AMG.
Well, it is. Well, we won't go into too much detail properly, but it really was just the 4-litre version in reality back in the day originally, and all they've done is just put the name AMG on. Now people say, is it fake? Was it a money-making thing?
We spoke about it earlier.
I don't really know.
You know what my opinion is?
It sort of is what it is. I do love the car though, and I do love it, and I do think, actually I do love the AMG red here. Yeah, I've got the nice badge, but it doesn't have made by the correct person, made by all of this. I know what you mean, AJ. But I do want to say the grille on this car though. I do love the design of the grille, and I do think how this is on all of the AMGs now. I do love the way how it looks so mean, and
the
how
Panamera grille is so aggressive, and it looks brilliant.
It protrudes out, and that is the one thing that I love about it. But coming around to the side, AJ, actually, I want to talk about these side panels quickly.
This is one of the things that you hate.
Well, this is an SUV car, so it's 4x4. You can go off-road in it. It's not really built for that, but the opportunity there is. It's slightly higher, so you have a step to step into. Now, the problem is with this step, it's too small. It isn't practical. You can't get your feet on it. You can't step on it.
It's not about that. Do you know what the real worst thing about this is?
It's too hard.
No, do you know what the worst thing is? For shorter people with shorter legs, is when you step out of the car, you actually catch your
I'm 6'3".
Side of your foot on it, and it is really annoying.
I will show you. Me stepping out of this car, foot comes here,
and then look, right there, it kisses. Oh, it's so annoying.
If you've got white linen trousers on in this nice car and you're driving to Monaco and you've just stepped out and you've got dirt on them, end of the day for you, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, the next thing we have to mention, you can sit in there, Curtis, because it's quite funny watching you sit in there. The one thing that Dad and everybody else purchasing this car, you physically can't, as much as money buys, you cannot get the heads-up display.
So the
you only get it in the AMG 63, and that is, well, another
20 grand extra.
20 grand extra just for a head-up display.
So if you want a heads-up display, it's a 20 grand extra option. One of the most expensive options Mercedes ever did. Literally it is. But I do love the whole interface on this. So this is the upgraded interface. You've got all of this, all of the touchscreens on here, nice and simple, nice and clean. It basically just makes you be able to control the entire car from the steering wheel. I like all of this. I've got buttons left, right and centre. I wish I had a little bit more on my steering wheel. So I do think this modern steering wheel is nice with this as well. The softer leather, this leather on here, I've always noticed on my car, if I'm wanting to drive it, my hands can get a bit sweaty and the steering wheel can become a bit slippy. But this, just with the AMG side, flat sides here, you can hold it better, it's a better leather.
So we've only got real kind of two things, well, maybe three. It's a fake AMG, because it hasn't got a badge.
I'm not saying it's a fake AMG.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Heads-up display, I love a heads-up display. It doesn't
needs
have that.
one, yeah.
The side skirts look great, very unpractical, but I'd live with them. I'd pay for them extra.
Yeah.
And my favourite thing about this car is the alloys, by far. They are just amazing. They look good when you're going fast, slow, whatever you want. But there is one other thing that really does annoy me. Yes, obviously you're not going to get mud flaps for this car because I don't know why, but Dad would want them. But you do actually have this little lip, Curtis. If you put your hand there at the back of the tire, you catch little, no, not that lip, not that, that's a good lip. That keeps the mud away. Go down there, look, you get this little area where you catch little bricks. Look. Oh. It's like a little, like, oh, I'm saving some stones for later.
Oh my gosh.
It's so annoying. Certain things like that, I'm very OCD. You know how OCD I am. That really, really annoys me.
Things like that end up rattling around, vibrating, and it just causes unwanted noise and unwanted disturbance.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Respect the funeral. I feel like, oh no, they're leaving now. Leaving this world.
Yeah, you've hit that one.
Okay, beyond that, point, I know one thing that you absolutely love. To be honest, I love, even if I'm checking out a Ferrari or a McLaren, the first thing I do is check the fuel economy. Don't know why I'm going to buy that car because I'm not going to look at it, but do you want to give us the harsh truth of Kurt's driving?
Yeah, because I'm normally 26 and on a run 30, and I've just looked at the fuel economy, and Curtis has been in it 5 minutes. I am about 12.6. So that tells you what he's tried to do to my car, destroy it. But he took it. I've just got to refuel it.
Okay, before we close up, give us one or two of the best things about this car, Dad, and then give us a bad point.
Right, so the good thing about this car, everybody does look at it. You can guarantee wherever you go, I have no issue. This car will start, rain, hail, snow, earthquake, it carries on going. I have complete confidence. Don't think twice about it. The thing that, when I had this car, because I bought it without testing it, and I thought, oh, great. And then so I was just taking it out to the garage, and I'm just turning on the sharp bend, going quite slowly, and it is jarring across the road. And I'm thinking, I better take this back to the garage straight away, there's something wrong with it. And they said, yeah, that's normal. With the four-wheel drive, the back wheels push the front wheels. So if you're going very slow, and if you're in a car park and you're going all round the multi-story, it keeps jarring across. And they said, that is something you have to live with. It's a car you've got to drive. Yeah, so that's the only thing I don't like about it, but everything else, yeah, is great. I know I've got power here, and you've got complete comfort, and it will, you feel safe at it whatever speed you are going.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. Video? You're just so excited. We have got loads of exciting stuff coming up this year. We cannot wait to show you everything that's happening. We've got driving stuff. We've got stuff abroad. We've got
quite a few trips abroad.
We do actually. We don't give anything away. We've got some off-road stuff happening, but you're going to have to tune in for the rest of the year to see all of this amazing stuff. But thank you for watching, guys. We hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below of what you thought.
And even if you don't like it, leave a comment. It always helps. Like, room for improvement. We love improvement.
Yes,
Just
we do.
Please. On that note,
do you want to hear the fact of the video, AJ?
You know what, I do, but we'll just let this Range Rover go past because it's just, oh, it's quite nice.
It is. But the new Range Rovers are nicer, I do have to say.
On that note, let's hear it. Back to the video, let's go.
Mercedes-Benz were the first cars to have brakes on all four wheels. And let's hope they work.
It is a real local, Kurt, watch out.
Yeah. Oh, and I've just, brand new white shoes, and I've just stood in, it's got brown in it as well, so it's got horse crap in it. Oh, brand new white shoes.
Put your foot up, put your foot up. Put it there. Oh no.
Oh, great. Welcome to the countryside, guys.
This video is powered by Food Heaven. It's all plant-based foods. Go try it out.